Hi Book Dragons, I am back. So I'm here to do my December TBR. Cannot believe I'm doing my December TBR. I am going to spend the month of December kind of picking a TBR game for 2026. And I am so close to finishing some projects, so I think I'm just going to categorize this into three things. Goodreads Choice Awards, holiday reads, and also like list books that I really would like to read before the end of the year. I am going to do Bookmas this year, some fashion, but I just have not had any time to like prep film, so you will see those in the middle of the month towards the end to the beginning of January. I really do like doing that content, but I just need a little bit of time to batch film and I just don't have the time like right now. But we are first going to talk about the YA fantasy books that I have not quite read yet, that were in the Goodreads Choice Awards that I really would like to prioritize, and those are probably going to be the bulk of the books I'm going to read this month physically because I'm really intrigued by them. So let me go get them. These are the YA fantasy books that I have not read yet that I'm still interested in. I would like to read Hazelthorn by C.G. Drew. I haven't read anything by this author. This was an arc I got from Comic-Con and I would like to read it. So I'm going to add this one to the cart. I also would like to read The Floating World by Axio. This is a one that's like an edition that I would love to read. I also did get this book signed, so if I could read this relatively quickly, I would be very, very happy as well. I also would like to read Never Ever After by Sue Lynn Tam, another stunning edition. And then I have two more. I want to read Immortal Consequences by I.D. Marie. This is a pretty edition. I actually did start this and then I stopped reading it. I don't remember why, but this is one that is a high priority. And also Breath of the Dragon by Chandali Anfandali. I do have the audiobook of this, and this actually would make a great book I'm reading while I'm watching Stranger Things. So yeah, those are my Goodreads Choice Awards plans for the month. And I am also going to toss in one or two other categories that may get read just because I'm interested in them. So yeah, let me go find those and then we'll chat about that. Three other books that are like in the other categories that I'm highly interested in is The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Perner. This is the historical fiction book that I really do want to read, so I might put this on my cart. I also would like to get around to Direbound by Sable Sorensen. This is a chunky book, and I don't like to bring these books to work because they are so floppy and they are more likely to get damaged. So I would like to add this to the TBR. And also, I have heard, actually recently, I've heard good things about The Knight and the Moth. And I know I have like a couple of like a week and a half off at the end of the month that like I'm not commuting. So those might be like my priority TBR. I do also want to chat through some of my holiday reads that I may try to tackle. So let me talk about that next. These are just some holiday books. I have A Winter Update So Cold by Amanda Foody and C.L. Herman. I also think this is a holiday book. It's called Violet Thistlethed Is Not a Villain Anymore. I really would like to read this as well. The book I think I'm going to read on Christmas Eve is going to be Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. I normally pick a book for Christmas Eve. This year will be very different because it's Stranger Things Day. So I don't know if this is going to be the vibes for what I want to read. But I will definitely add this to the TBR because I think I will love it. And then I have two other books. I have Meant to Be by Katie Castle-Cook. This is just a YA contemporary that I picked up at the Barnes & Noble sale. And then also another witchy Beauty and the Beast or like wintry is A Curse of Shadows and Ice by Katerina Mora. So yeah, these are the books that are just going to live here because they're nice and neat. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to come back. I really don't have any more room on my TBR cart. But what I would like to do is I would like to go back in my like list that I've been doing, that I've been keeping track of this whole year, and I actually am making new lists and trying to pick a few books to just kind of fill out my cart that way, and maybe add some audiobooks as well. Maybe pick a physical book, maybe pick an audiobook from each of those lists just to have some options. So yeah, let me go add all of these to my graphic and then we will come back and we'll talk about the lists. Yeah, I'll be back. Okay, so I do have a 2025 NetGalley list that I have been horrible at. So two of the books I'm going to pull off there. One is Den of Liars by Jessica S. Olsen. This is an occulty, witchy book that has to do with con artists, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to add this one. And then a book that like I have the audiobook for is The Rival by Emma Lord. I will attach a photo of that book here. Temporary, like cute enemies to more college romance, and I really do want to get around to it, and I think it'll be a quick listen. I've been struggling with audiobooks, but I'm willing to give it a shot. So that's the one for that list. And then let's get into the next couple of lists that I have. So I do have like an ARC TBR of books that I got ARCs at this beginning of the year. I'm going to do the same exact thing this year. I did miss a few, so I'm going to add Where Shadows Bloom by Catherine Bankwell. This is one that I have wanted to read, and it's a sapphic romance. And then I also have a book that I think would be perfect to read during Stranger Things weekends, because this is embark on a Norse mythology-inspired romantasy where Vampire Diaries meets the Atlas Six meets Stranger Things. And I am in my Stranger Things era right now. So we'll let you get back to this. I also did get the second book on NetGalley, so I would like to get around to that. And then I do have like like a highly anticipated books, my 5-star read predictions. And I do have a couple that I haven't got around to yet. So I'm going to add 4 from here, but I'm going to add 2 audiobooks. So The Beautiful Maddening by Shia Archer is one that I think would be a great book to read when I'm watching Stranger Things, and I'm going to be doing a lot of Stranger Things content in the next month, so. And I'm going to keep putting this on a book. I'm going to keep putting this on a, but I really want to read The Princess Knight. My plans got a little bit shack-jored because I did a lot of like Goodreads Choice Award content, so these got a little bit like out of left field, like I wasn't focusing on them as much, but I would like to put these back on the docket. And then the 2 audiobooks I would like to make some progress on is The Maid's Secret by Nita Prose. I will attach a photo of that here. It's book 3 in that series. Also, Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I really want to get around to this one. It was on my highly anticipated book list, so I would like to get around to that, and it is in the Goodreads Choice Award, so I really should be able to read that book next. So I'm going to attach a photo of that one here. I have really not been reading my chunky books, so I want to add The Phoenix Keeper to this TBR. It's a cozy fantasy, which is quite chunky, so I'm going to have to get over my fear of big books for a lot of these. And then also, I really would like to get back in and read Servant of Earth. I read this during Get a Clue and I put it down. I read about 70 pages. I really did like it, but I just was like so distracted when I was reading it. And I decided to put myself first and not force myself to read something that I wasn't enjoying. So these 2 are going to go on the TBR. This is going to be a very massive TBR, but that's okay. I'm not going to get to everything, but I do want to really focus on those lists and try to get them down a little bit after I get through Goodreads Choice Awards. So this will be another project. And now let's talk about the last couple of lists. Again, some chunky books. I would like to read The Games Gods Play. I might actually read this when I'm watching Percy Jackson, because it will be like a perfect tie-in, and I do have a couple other books that I think would work, so this one might get read as well. And then also Dance of the Starlit Sea by Kiana Crystal. I've heard no one talk about this one. It's Haiti and Persephone meets Phantom of the Opera, and I've heard no one talk about this, but it's a very short read, and I think it's like very atmospheric, so I'm gonna add this to the TBR as well. Yes, so yeah, all right. Let me go make sure I haven't forgot anything, and then we'll chat when I get back. Oh, I'm just going to toss these. I'm not putting this on my graphic. I'm just going to toss them on here. But there's a couple of categories. So, the category 1 is books that I probably should have read. I had a prompt from my game that I didn't do this month to read the oldest book on my TBR, and that was A Kiss of Deception. Now that I like found it, I'm just going to keep it in my cart. I'm doing like a dark fantasy reading blog, so I'm going to put Bonesmith back on my TBR. It has been, and it's probably going to be the next book that I read, so I'm going to put that over there. And then I just have Truth Witch by Susan Dennard is a book that I really do want to reread, so that actually might be a fun book to reread in the month of December. And then I do have an arc of The Elsewhere Express by Sada Sotoyambo. I'm just going to leave that here too. it's an option. And then here are some Goodreads choice books. Oh, this one is just one that I got this from Pango, The Second Death of Locke, and I heard it's a second chance romantasy, so I really am intrigued by this. And here are some Goodreads choice word books that I am interested in, that I have some special editions of. The Incandescents by Emily Tesh is one that I got from Owl Crate. I also have Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab that I still have not read. And then I also have Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. And then I also have Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry, and this was a pretty edition that I got. So yeah, those are all the books on my TBR. Will I read them all? Absolutely not, but I am going to put in the good vibes and hope that they get read. So let me know in the comments, what are your reading plans for December? And also, what type of content would you like to see from me as I start wrapping up 2025 and heading into 2026? I'm going to have content for you guys. I'm really excited for it, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, book friends.